you're unable to tell truth from untruth.
My ninja intuition tells me this.
Hello, you do not have ninja intuition. You do not even have normal intuition.
Hey, what's up, world? Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Actually, not just a fantastic day. It's Sunday today. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. It's a 3-day weekend. I hope you're all having a fantastic 3-day weekend, if you get all 3 days off. If you don't, then I'm sorry. Life obviously sucks for you. You have my sympathies. And that's about it. Let's get started with this video. I'd like to start off by thanking Jason Geopolitical. I think that's how you pronounce your name, Geopolitical. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, I would not be recording this video right now. Honestly, I'm just recording this video because I'm like, you know what? I got somebody out there that cares enough about me to buy me 5 coffees. I don't even drink coffee. I'll let everybody know. I don't drink coffee. This is just a great donation page. Coffee, I think, is actually one of the worst things that people are consuming. I think it's actually causing a lot of people to age prematurely. It's a diuretic. It's dehydrating people. It's doing shit to them. You know, that's not even talking about whether the fact or if the beans are organic or not and the pesticides used. It's a diuretic. It can't be all that great for you. It's used to keep slaves awake. Okay, it boggles my mind, actually, that people wake up from what should have been a good night's sleep. They should be well rested, well energized, and what do? They grab a cup of coffee to energize them. It boggles my mind. But I don't drink coffee, but thank you, Jason Geopolitical, for buying me 5 coffees. That money will go to the right place. You have my word on that. And by the right place, I mean I'm not even going to use it until it gets to a certain point that it can be used for something meaningful. So Jason Geopolitical, I like your last name because it's almost like, get out, sis. Like, get out of here, sis. But anyway, once again, thank you so much. I would not be recording this video if it wasn't for you. And a little disclaimer, I do have allergies, so if I sound a little nasally, a little congested, it's because I am. And it sucks, but I gotta record this video, because this is like the only opportunity I have really this weekend, because I do work like basically 2 jobs. I work 2 jobs, I do this, and then of course I gotta do a bunch of other shit. But anyway, we're gonna be talking about Trump again in this video. That's right, we're gonna be talking about the big guy, because the narrative is so controlled around him that if we aren't talking about him, then very few people are saying any truth about this guy. So anyway, something that caught my attention was this article here. Target on Trump. Iranian murder for a hire plot against Trump revealed as 2 New Yorkers also busted and planned to kill journalist. And this character here, I'm sorry, he looks a lot more like a CIA asset than he looks like a gun for hire. But, you know, what do I know, right? So let's check this out, right? We're going to be looking into this. And before we do a deep dive on that article, I just got to point out all of the hilarious Trump worship. We got this video from Glenn Beck, how Donald Trump's win can save the entire Western world. Like, people really believe this. I mean, it would be nice. It would be great. It is a possibility that they might use him for, like, you know, some positivity to kind of, like, get people to buy back into the system. That's a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen, though. All right? All we have to do is look at his first term. But let's look at more of these, right? So take a good look at this man. This is Lionel Messi from Lionel Nation. Take a good look at this man. It will take decades of careful analysis to clearly understand exactly and precisely what he did and how he did it. And when you fully grasp the degree of tactical brilliance employed, you will enjoy a level of astonishment you never experienced. It's interesting that Lionel would put this up. Of course, he means this in a positive way. But this can also be, you know, one can also say this about the conspiracy side of things. I mean, what is being done now is like tactical genius. Even though it's really not. It's actually really basic psychology. But it's tactical genius from the standpoint of people whose IQ is like room temperature. So if you have a room temperature IQ, what this guy is pulling off, yeah, it might seem like genius 4D chess level stuff. Right? Anyway, let's look at another article that we have here. This one was actually one of my favorite. Tipping the scales. heartbroken owner of Peanut the squirrel, seized and killed by New York, says case of wild government overreach may have helped Trump. Really, case of wild government overreach. God, I should have had the video of when Trump says he believes take the guns first, due process later. I might try to insert that into this video if I have time. But if you haven't seen the video, just remember Trump is the man who said take the guns first, or I believe we should take the guns first and have due process later. He's also the guy who was all for civil asset forfeiture. If I remember the quote for civil asset forfeiture, it's very close to, take the guns first and due process later, because civil asset forfeiture is pretty much along those lines. So he's also for civil asset forfeiture. Of course, let's not forget the whole lockdown. One of the greatest acts of government overreach occurred under who? Who did it occur under? I think his name is like a Donald Duck. Is it Donald Duck? No, it's not Donald Duck. Yeah, that's right. It's Donald Trump. It's the guy that all the people are worshiping right now, Donald Trump. So anyway, let's look at another. This is a Citizen Free Press. This used to be a pretty good website. Like, they used to just kind of compile like news from all over. Now it's just kind of turned into like a conservative NPC network. It's NPC on both sides. I guess clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right sort of deal. So we got this video from them. It's like, thank God for Elon Musk and the Donald. I don't really know what Elon Musk did. I don't know why they're thanking him. Like, trust me, Elon Musk is not the one who pushed Donald Trump over the line. Okay? It had very little to nothing to do with that. And it's like, now let's get rid of the failed federal education department. It's like, I don't see how the two are tied together, but okay. But anyway, it's basically a really stupid AI video of caricatures that look like the two dancing like idiots. It's perfect like fodder for the mindless masses, for the conservative NPCs. What do we have here? Oh, yeah, this one's brilliant. I love this one. This one's really great. And don't worry, everybody, this is going somewhere. So this was a short. I forget what channel it is, but let's see how he starts off the video.
Now this is nice.
Attention, inside and outside areas. The winner of the 2024 presidential election is Donald J. Trump.
Let's go!
Brainless idiots. So let's take a look at this, all right? So let's see why they shouldn't be too excited at the barracks of the Virginia Military Institute, right? Let's take a look at this. So we have this article, this news that went out there, and then it quickly disappeared. It's really funny how like quickly this news headline just completely vanished. It was actually like at the top of the news page, like of the New York Post. It was like at the top. And then I swear, like within an hour, it was buried in the middle in like kind of a smaller article. And it's like that kind of like fell off the headlines really quick. So let's take a look at this and let's maybe see why. So I already read the headline: Iranian murder for hire plot against Trump revealed as two New Yorkers also busted and plan to kill journalist. So RT actually has a really interesting article, or at least a little news segment that came out about this. Iran rejects U.S. claims of planning to kill officials, including Trump. They refer to it as a malicious conspiracy. And it's definitely malicious. Malicious. I don't know why I called it malicious. They refer to it as a malicious conspiracy. And of course, it's a malicious conspiracy from a malevolent group of individuals. So let's see what they have to say.
Officials, and described the claims as completely baseless and rejected. He emphasized that repeating such claims at this juncture is a malicious conspiracy orchestrated by Zionist and anti-Iranian circles, aimed at further complicating the issues between the U.S. and Iran. All
right, so it's complete bullshit, right? It's just like a lot of these other supposed assassination attempts that seem like, I already made a video about that, right? They seem very suspicious, let's just say that. Okay, so we had this one. Now, for those of you who don't know, and it seems like a lot of people forgot that, I'm actually going to just make mention of it really quick right now. I have a friend who voted for Trump, he's like, yeah, maybe things are really going to change now that he's going to be in office. And I'm like, are you aware of what he did his first term? And of course, this friend of mine had no idea what the fuck Trump did his first term, just like all of these people. They're like fucking zombies. It amazes me how they act like they know what's going on when they clearly have no fucking clue as to what's going on. It's like, you don't have a clue. You have you really, in the eyes of history, you were born yesterday. And I miss this saying. When I was growing up, there was that saying, oh, I wasn't born yesterday. And I guess people stopped using it because they fucking were basically born yesterday. I mean, they can't even remember something that happened 4 years ago, less than 4 years ago. Trump increasing the national debt, Trump fucking increasing bombing, Trump banning bump stocks, Trump pushing red flag laws. I mean, Trump, most importantly, because everyone loves to say, oh, well, Trump didn't start any new wars. I love hearing the saying, Trump didn't start any new wars. My response to them is always, well, he fucking tried hard enough. It's not him that didn't really start a new war. It's more like the fucking people he was trying to start wars with were smart enough not to take the bait. So let's take a look at this, right? Who am I talking about here? I'm talking about Qasem Soleimani. U.S. strike on Iran general was unlawful. UN expert says. And it was. It wasn't just this killing. And it's actually interesting. This is another thing that I guess you have to have a memory a little bit further than 4 years, maybe around 2017, 2018, to know that Trump was fucking not killing ISIS, not wiping ISIS out, but actually supporting them. And this killing of Qasem Soleimani, there's this great BBC article, why his killing is good news for ISIS jihadists. Okay, this guy was trying to broker peace. He was trying to work as an intermediary between two different Arab nations, and Trump killed him. Okay, this guy was a threat to ISIS, and that's actually why I believe he killed them. I think it has to do with ISIS, because if you look at how much they helped, Trump himself helped ISIS, or at least his administration helped ISIS, it seems like the two might be connected. And that's just something people, you can't even tell them that. They won't believe you, but guess what? I mean, they're just going to believe the news because they weren't fucking awake at the time. It's not like they're awake now. Clearly, they're not awake now, because when you try to talk to them, they carry on like some sort of somnambulist who's isn't in their own faculties. It's they're just a sleepwalker. It's following, some hypnotic suggestion that you can't hear. You're not fucking dumb enough. It's you have to have an IQ low enough for that hypnotic suggestion to actually have an effect on you. So you don't have that effect. So when you try to talk to them, even now, they shut down. And you can see it. When you're trying to talk to them, I can feel it. It's I'll talk to them, they'll be there. And as soon as you start introducing facts that they're not aware of, and that they actually might have to do some work, some labor to find out on their own, you can just see it they just shut down in their brain. They're no longer in the conversation. They're just going back into whatever biases that they have stored up in their brain from the news media, whatever talking points that they have in their head. It's disgusting. And it's funny, I actually had a really interesting live conversation with High Impact Flicks on his channel. Here's the Deal. He was having a live chat, and actually I jumped in, and it was funny. I'm actually surprised he let me in. And he was like, yeah, I know you, buddy. I know who you are. And it's yeah, dude, I got a bunch of videos that talks a lot of smack about you, and I'm not taking them down. Even though, I can have a friendly conversation with him, I'm not going to take down those videos. But in the chat between me and Here's the Deal, this was maybe 2 days ago. It was on his live a couple days ago. Yeah, I had brought up the point, it's what is really causing people to have this cognitive dissonance? That's what he asked me. What's really causing the cognitive dissonance? And, I was is it psychological or is it spiritual? I mean, sometimes when I'm talking to these people, I'm it can't be psychological. I've seen fucking psychological fuck-ups, and this seems like it's way beyond that. It seems like it's almost spiritual, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So anyway, if you check out this fucking Wikipedia page, sorry for the digression, you check out this Wikipedia page for Qasem Soleimani, you go down to his deaths, right, or his assassination, read a little bit about this, and you'll see how the under the decision-making, how their story flip-flopped. Oh yeah, he was an imminent threat, and then oh yeah, we killed him because we blamed him for other deaths of our soldiers. We said that he was connected with these Iranian militia that attacked our bases, our unjust bases in these countries. Yeah, we have unjust bases in Syria and Iraq, and they dared to attack them. So we're going to blame him for their attacking our bases, and we're going to kill him like a couple years later. No trial, no admission of evidence, none of that shit. We're just going to kill him. So this was deemed unlawful. It's unlawful in the U.S. It violated U.S. law. It violated international law. And Trump went about, and he did it anyway. Okay, it's like, he has no care about the actual law. And it's funny, too, because Democrats will say this, and of course they'll say this about fucking completely mundane, ridiculous things. So then, like, conservatives built up in the head that, anybody saying these talking points just has Trump derangement syndrome. And it's like they don't actually believe it's legitimate criticism. But it is. Okay, this guy's a piece of shit. Once again, red flag laws, fucking confiscating your guns without due process. He had no problem with that. Civil asset forfeiture. All of these things are just floating the law. Okay, they're just like the violations of what obviously should be respected law. Okay, so the guy doesn't really care. We'll see more of that, though, in his second term, I'm sure of it. Of course, we got this fucking idiot Styx Hexenhammer. He's like, the deep state wants to assassinate Trump and blame Iran to start a war. It's like, no, dude. Trump has been trying to start a war with Iran since his first term in office. He tried really hard when he assassinated this guy. Now he's putting this bullshit story out there. People are already, like, feeling some sort of way from Trump trying to be assassinated. So he knows that he can get his little NPCs to follow along. If he's all like, yo, yeah, they're trying to assassinate me, we got to go to war with them. NPCs will follow along. And then we got this idiot. Oh, yeah, the snake, man, it's eating its thing. This is a terrible sign. Okay? This thing, I know that they like to say, no, it's a great sign, man. It's getting experience off of itself. If you see somebody with this sign, you can pretty much just mark them off as low IQ idiots. I just want to say that. Moving on to our next story, though. Let's not get too hung up here. Let's also remind people of Father Trump, the Vax Daddy over here. We got this article, totally unrelated news. Ellie was the happiest she'd ever been until she lined up for her COVID vaccines. Now she's living a nightmare, and doctors agree the jabs are to blame. Well, who do we have to blame for the jabs, though? I think it was Trump, right, who violated more laws with Operation Warp Speed. Oh yeah, guys, I'm gonna declare a national emergency, which will allow for this Operation Warp Speed, which will also allow for those Democrats to declare laws in their own states and force those things on everybody. Yeah, and we're gonna do this without checking, and it's gonna be totally justified. Why? Because Big Daddy Trump declared a national emergency over what amounted to, I'm not even gonna mention. But thanks, Trump. Thank you so much for Operation Warp Speed. Thank you for violating more laws and more regulations. Thank you so much. Our next one, we got this lady. This was a while ago, September 19th, 2024, but I've been keeping it on deck. Horrible. This lady's already passed away, by the way. It's terrible. 23-year-old woman was mandated to take 3 vaccines against her will, and she's now anticipating she only has a few days to live. Yeah, terrible, horrible story. The poor lady. But of course you don't see this in the news. Instead you just see stuff about Trump, but this shit is still an ongoing issue, everyone. Tragic end. Supermodel dead at 46 after falling ill on vacation months after wedding. I don't know what happened to her. Like, if you see this, we do have some weight extremes here. You can see, like, she's skin and bones here. I'm not sure if this is the same lady. I read in the comments that they were using, like, the wrong pictures. So maybe these aren't the right pictures, but this was all very sudden, and it is a shock for all of us. Okay, that's all that's important. It was a sudden death, another sudden death, and that's not the only one. We got plenty more of those. We got trailblazing ballerina Michelle de Prince dies suddenly, age 29. This was also back in September, and before we even get into the national debt, I got to mention this. I got somebody actually close to me. They were out, right? They were out of work for like 2 months, right? They come back, and I'm like, hey, I'm very friendly with this person. I think that the person's a great human being. I'm like, hey, is everything okay with you? This person came back. They have a cane and stuff. And I thought maybe they like got into an accident. I thought maybe they fell, broke their leg or something. I thought it was something minor. And this person tells me, no, they're suffering a medical mystery. They got some blood work done, and their doctor basically called them at work and was like, get to an emergency room right away. This person's body's like eating itself. They have to have some sort of autoimmune disease or something like that, where like basically their protein in their blood, it was like so high, like it's normally like at most like 120, parts. I think it's like parts. I forget what it is, but it's like 120 over something, right? That's what it's normally supposed to be at. This person levels were at 13,000. Okay, their body's like breaking apart inside. They're like losing muscle. Their muscles are like their body's breaking down their muscle, and it's horrible. And the doctors don't know what's going on. They're like, it's a medical mystery. They can't link it to anything. And like, I want to say to this person, like, hey, did you recently get boosted? Did you get any sort of like vaccines or any sort of like immune boosters in that time period? I want to ask them that, but it's like, I know I can't. I know that person is not like, they're not about that life. So it's like, I don't even want to bring that up to their attention. I don't want them to feel like that's to blame for their condition, because like, that can cause them to feel sort of remorseful and all kinds of negativity. And I just want the person to kind of stay in a positive mood. And I just tried being positive to the person, like, at least like they're giving you something that's sort of keeping you under control. But it's horrible. I don't imagine this person can live with this condition for much longer. And it's really tragic. This is happening to people all over the place, and it's not even getting reported. Okay, these are just some of the cases that make it to the news. But this is an ongoing issue that is affecting countless numbers of people, and has probably already like affected countless numbers of other people. Like the VAR's data, I have a video explaining why it only like represents 1%, if not less than 1%, of actually what's going on out there. In my VAR's data video, I show that if you see where the reports are coming from, they're coming from places that have people who can make those reports. They're coming from nursing homes. They're coming from care facilities that have people who are specially hired, or it's their job to make these reports. So when it's happening to people outside of these care facilities, it's not making it to the VAR's data, because there's not anybody who's actively going to make that report. It's not their job. And guess what? Trump's chief of staff, the person who he picked, he's already named as his chief of staff, is a big pharma lobbyist. Susie Willis, okay, the most feared and least known political operative in America. She works with this Mercury group, massive pharma lobbying group, and yeah, Trump picked her as the chief of staff. She's influencing both sides, okay, the cog, the continuum of government. And who knows, maybe some of them would have been the person who adds to the realm of ideas that we need to break out from this trap. So anyway, moving on though, don't forget, not only did Donald Trump do all of those horrible things that we've already talked about in this video, but let's not forget his national debt increase. Okay, here's an article titled, Donald Trump built a national debt so big, even before the pandemic, that it'll weigh down the economy for years. This was in 2021. Now, of course, the previous presidents also helped to build that national debt. But under Donald Trump, he increased it by $8 trillion. The amount Obama increased it in 8 years, Trump increased it in 4 years. Here's the usdebtclock.org on this day in 2016. This was taken like maybe 2 days ago. On this day in 2016, 21,149,000. On this day in 2020, Trump's last year in office, 29 trillion. That's an 8 trillion increase there. Okay, 8 trillion increase. So under Biden, if you do the same thing on this day in 2020 to this day to today, this was like, today, 35 trillion. So under Biden, 6 trillion. So everyone's like, oh yeah, and this was a point that my friend couldn't realize. He was like, oh yeah, at least prices will go down. And maybe prices will go down because maybe Trump will get the price of energy to go down, and that might bring down the price of like a lot of things. But Trump is inflation king, man. That government spending adds to that inflation too. Real simple, supply and demand. They're greatly increasing the demand by increasing the amount of money in the market that now more people can access that product, but there's only X amount of supply. And that's exactly what his little pandemic payout did. Oh yeah, let's just give everybody this amount of money. Yeah, why? Oh, well, because, we're breaking the law anyway by shutting down all these businesses and shit. So we might as well break the law some more and just fucking be socialist, straight up communist, give everybody money. Money, 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 right?
It's time for Who Do You Trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money. Who do you trust? Me? I'm giving away free money.
So let's see what else we got here. We got FEMA officials ordered Hurricane Milton relief workers. Now this article, the reason why I have this article here is because the purpose of this article, or articles like this, is to psychologically manipulate you. It's like, yeah, see, they're out to get you if you're a Trump supporter. See, there's this actual division. There are really two sides, and they're feuding against each other. They're not actually working together. No, they're against each other. They're enemies. See, they even say, avoid the houses with Trump signs. It's just garbage, guys, all right? It's just smoke and mirrors. So, Hamas chief, this article actually really gets me. I forgot that I was even going to include this in this video. Yeah, this is going to be a long video. So this is great, right? So Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar was prepared for death, left advice for terror group, as experts warn the war has just started. All right, it's like, oh man, they took out like the top guy. You would think the war is going to be over, right? No, it just started. It's not over. There's more slaying. There's more death and destruction to rain down on these innocent civilians. And of course, they're not all innocent, but most of them are, right? So let's read this real quick, right? So Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar was preparing for his death as Israeli forces closed in on him in Gaza, instructing his terror group not to concede to ceasefire negotiations without him, as experts warn that the war is far from over. All right, so check this shit out, right? So this is all a scheme, right? Just like there are no two sides here in America, just like it's all a puppet show, the same thing is fucking true here. And I did a video on this. You should really check out, if you haven't, check out my video, The Truth About the Israeli-Palestine Conflict. You can see their buddy here. There's a reason why. Okay, and we're gonna see that actually in this some news headlines here, right? That they're all on the same team, right? So this guy, right? So check this out. So think about this. You got like their leaders all like, yeah, don't accept ceasefire negotiations without me. And he says this as he's preparing for death, right? Oh, I'm preparing for death. I don't understand this concept. Oh yes, I'm gonna prepare for death. It's like, wait a second. Wait, you mean you're suicidal? Like, I don't get this. So death is on its way. And instead of escaping, let's see what he tries to do, right? Let's look at this bullshit video. So this guy, right? He's preparing for death. This is the guy, right? They want you to believe this bullshit. Let's all laugh at this, right? So here's their video, right? Israeli drone captures Yahya Sinwar's last moments alive. Let's check this out. This is last moments alive, everyone. What is he doing? He's just chilling out here, right? You got this place blown down wall. It's all fucking blown down. Not a very good hiding spot. And he's just chilling on the couch here. Right? This is like the head of Hamas, right? No, he doesn't have like some fucking bunker he can hide in where the hostages are. They can't find the hostages. He's not going to hide there. No, he's going to hide right here, right out in the open. Just hanging out on this couch, of course, completely covered up, so you can't even identify whether it's him or not. This could just be like some fucking like low IQ person with a birth defect, just sitting here, right? And he's got what? He's got some metal thing in his hand. No, he doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have a rifle. This is like the head of Hamas. No, he's just got a stick in his hand. And watch what he's going to do with this stick. Oh, yes, watch out for my metal stick. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to overhand throw it, and that's the end of the video. They want you to believe this was the head of Hamas here, guys. You can't fucking make out shit here. And his defense against this drone, what is he going to do? I'm going to overhand throw the stick at you. And then he died moments later. And now, guess what? Because he's dead and because he said, don't accept ceasefire negotiations without me, The fighting will go on. Exactly what a certain faction here wants. Interesting, huh? Who benefits from this? Is it those innocent civilians? Is it his side? Is Hamas benefiting from this? No, they're not, right? Who's getting more land right now? Who's increasing their land and their power and their influence and their tyranny and their destruction? Oh, it's not them. Okay, cool. All right, so here's another interesting thing, right? So how Israeli spies stashed explosives and 5,000 European-made pagers at production level months ago before detonating Hezbollah devices, as coded text message that triggered blast is revealed. Now check this shit out, right? Do I have this in the article? I think I do, right? So a page bomb attack that left, can I zoom in on this? I think I can. Let me try to zoom in on this. Alrighty, let me zoom in right here, right? So a pager bomb attack that left roughly 2,800 Hezbollah members and civilians injured and 12 dead in Lebanon and Syria yesterday was authored by Israel's Mossad spy agency and the IDF, several security sources claim. The Lebanese group, this is Hezbollah, earlier this year ordered thousands of pagers to conduct communication after their leader, this is another one of their leaders, this isn't the leader that was throwing the stick, this is the leader, declared smartphones would be more susceptible to cyber attacks by Israeli forces. Okay, who thinks that this guy's in bed with Israel? I just maybe clap your hands. I'm going to do a little hand clap because I think he is. So what are the chances, right? So Israel, months before this actual attack, they planned this. So we're going to put these explosives in pagers. But question from a person whose brain is still working. How did Israel anticipate that Hezbollah would buy pagers months ago? Oh, is it because maybe they're working with their head? Could that be it? Could they be in bed together and they're like, we're going to do this? Okay, now tell your followers to get pagers. Why? Oh, yeah, tell them that the cell phones are susceptible to cyber attacks. Yeah, let's get them there. Guys, it's all a show, okay? And you want proof for that? Let's check this out, right? So here we have Iranian General Esmail Kanan's whereabouts unknown amid probe into his ties with Israel after its assault on Hezbollah. Okay, so this Iranian guy, he's missing after the Iranians realize, hey, I think this guy's actually a spy working for Israel. So his whereabouts are unknown. They don't know if Israel picked him up. They don't know if he was being questioned and died during questioning. Some are saying that he died. He suffered a heart attack during questioning. It could just be all bullshit. They could all be in bed and just saying, oh, yeah, he's gone. Don't worry, guys. We sent him back to Tel Aviv. He's chilling out on the beach right now. Now, here's another story. Was Hezbollah operative abducted by Israeli special forces actually a double agent? So Israel, they had this daring beach raid, and I believe it was in Lebanon, and then they kidnapped this guy off the beach, right? They quote-unquote kidnap him. But then it raises questions. It's like, wait a second, they're just going off and killing all these other members. So why did they just kidnap him? Oh, it's because he's a double agent working with both sides. Okay, once again, if you haven't seen it, the truth about the Israeli-Palestine conflict, check it out. So let's just move on to some other stories of corruption. Here we have Mayor Eric Adams' longtime girlfriend quietly retires from high-ranking $250,000 a year Department of Education role amid city probe into alleged no-show gig. So Eric Adams, he gives this girl this promotion to this high-paying position. This bitch never shows up to her job. She never shows up. She's flying on vacation. She's traveling the world and shit. She never puts in for vacation time at work or any of that stuff. She just doesn't show up. So then people start fucking actually making complaints. They start making ethic complaints. They start making complaints to departments that are supposed to be overseeing this corruption. So what does she do? She just retires. She retires. She gets all the benefits that comes with that retirement. She gets the pension and stuff that's tied to this fucking... She gets the pension that's tied to this position and this payout. And basically nothing happens. The corruption rolls on. No more probe into her. And then what's interesting is, of course, at this event, what I thought was funny is Adams, Eric Scumbag Adams here, He has a tuxedo jacket on that says "End Gun Violence." How much do you think this tuxedo jacket cost? I can guarantee you this thing alone costs like $10,000 to $15,000. Just this jacket alone. All right, let's see what else we got here. Disturbing rise in hell worshippers flocking to the Church of Satan. This is in Chile, and I just thought this was hilarious. So let's just read this, right? So they meet at a building in downtown Santiago, the South American nation's capital, where they sip on their favorite wine and the smell of tobacco and incense fill the room. Black candles burn on top of an altar decorated with chalices and knives. Although devotees, let me zoom in on this because I'm sure you guys can't see shit. Right, so although devotees accept the Satanist label, they don't honor or believe in Satan. Instead, they focus more on rationality, individualism, pleasure, and the mundane life. They praise humankind over gods. You are the owner of your present and future. There is no God that makes decisions for you, said this asshole, a spokesperson for the group. To members, the figure of Satan is purely symbolic and their rituals are performed to bring out the emotions and leave the intellect aside. But wait a second. There's an inconsistency here. So it says they worship, they focus on rationality, individualism, and then they go down here and it's like, what say? Oh yeah, they do this. These symbolic rituals are performed to bring out the emotions and leave the intellect aside. All right, you guys are fucking idiots, and I was able to figure that out after reading just 3 paragraphs about your little stupid group. Now let's read some more of this though, right? So Chile's Temple of Satan was founded in 2012, and more than 400 people have applied for membership over the last couple of weeks. So anyway, so they do like a background, right? So interest in the group. Petitions, oh, wait, I don't have it here? Oh, fuck. There was another thing I included here, which was, actually, I do have it here. Awesome, cool. So, the Temple of Satan, Satanists, and Luciferians of Chile consist of 100 members, including cops, firemen, lawyers, psychologists, and publicists who seek to challenge the moral norms, dogmas, and religious impositions of the country. Applicants have to go through a process that includes filling out a form and showing proof of not having a criminal record. They are grilled by a special commission and have to undergo an evaluation conducted by a psychologist. Once allowed in, members can adopt a new name, normally that of a demon or fallen angel, with which they will be identified inside the temple and among other members. Now, what I love about this Church of Satan thing is that people don't realize that they want you to fall down this path. Why? Because God, or a particular belief in God, a particular religious belief, like Calvinism, at least a very well understanding of Calvinism, is actually an answer to their tyranny. You know, as I've showed in my religious exemption video, my religious exemption would not be possible under a satanic belief. Okay, Satanists don't have a religious exemption that they can actually appeal to. However, you can, if you understand religion, if you understand theology, using God, you can actually have a religious exemption to a whole bunch of their tyranny. And that's probably why we have these characters that are currently members. Because they're going to be the ones who are going to be influencing everybody else around them. The cops, the firemen, the lawyers, the psychologists, and publicists. And what do they seek? They seek to challenge the moral norms, the dogmas, and religious impositions of the country. Now, I'll be fair, it's possible that maybe this country has, like, some horrible Catholic dogmas and some religious impositions, but that doesn't mean you stray down the path of Satanism. I don't care if these people are like, oh, we don't acknowledge Satanists. We're not actual Satanists. We don't actually believe in Satan. And it's funny because this guy, Styx Hexenhammer, he has a video like that where he's all like, Satanist, they don't actually believe in Satan. And it's like, you're just full of shit, but good PR stunt. And these clowns here, good PR stunt, but guess what? That's exactly what they're doing down there in Chile. They're going to be manipulating the minds of the people down there, just like the people are having their minds manipulated everywhere. But anyway, this is I just wanted to say that about this. I also just wanted to say that this is evidence that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and I guess in this case, quite literally. with the Satanist. But anyway, that's the last article I want to cover for today. Hope you all enjoyed it. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay sharp.
I did battle with ignorance today, and ignorance won.